While you hesitate, other men are taking your place. It's a sad thing to say, but it's true, unfortunately. We encounter, making this content and working with guys, we encounter a lot of men who will say things like, yes, this is interesting stuff. I accept that I need to make changes in this area. I accept that I need to sort out my social skills to shape up, etc., etc., but I can't do it now because, and then the litany of excuses begins. And they might be because my dog ate my homework, or because my dog is sick and I have to care for my dog so I don't have time to practice social skills, or because I need to lose 10 pounds so I'm going to focus on that first before I practice the social stuff. Or it might be I'm going to work on my business or work in my job so that I get a raise, so that I make more money, and then I'm going to be more attractive. And so that's the thing, I need to wait for that. Or I'm going to wait until I finish my degree because I'm really busy with my exams at the moment. And then when I've graduated, then it will be time for me to spread my social wings and become a butterfly, okay? There's always a reason. There's always an obstacle that's in the way. And look, I get it. I mean, there are times in your life when other things take precedence and you have to focus on those things. And there's a season for everything, okay? There's a season for focusing on work and for grinding, okay? For going monk mode, if you will. There's a season for getting your fitness into shape, although really you should be just doing it the whole time. But let's say you're in a situation where you've had to take a hiatus from exercise and then, you know, put on a few pounds, or you've lost a bit of muscle or whatever, and it's like, okay, fine, I'm really going to focus on this. I get it, okay? These things happen. There are periods of your life when you're going to have to focus on certain things, but in general, the social skills piece should be a consistent, okay? The fitness piece should be consistent. The making money piece should be consistent. I would add spiritual wellness should be a consistent, okay? So are you meditating, or are you doing yoga, or are you, you know, whatever, right? I mean, I try to tick off all of those things every day. So I'll try to tick off, okay, I'll go to the gym and I'll do something, right? It might not be a weight session, but maybe I'll just do cardio, okay? As far as the dating stuff is concerned, are you talking to 2 or 3 new people a day? Doesn't need to be a huge, long, drawn-out conversation. It might just be a couple of lines to somebody and little joke, and then they laugh, you laugh, and then that's it. You know, doesn't need to be a huge thing. But are you working on that side of your life? Making money. Well, obviously we've all got to work, so I hope that you're working, and that's probably the non-negotiable in this. But you know, are you working? And more than that, are you working towards your actual goals? So if, for example, you're in a job that you don't like very much, but there's this other thing that you want to do, are you spending a bit of time, even just half an hour a day, even 20 minutes a day, working towards that other thing, or researching that other thing? Okay, that's something you can do. So I would be working on all of the key pillars every day. That's what you should really be doing. And the point is that the social side of things actually doesn't need to take very long. We build this stuff up in our mind so that it becomes this huge thing. It's like, oh, I haven't got time to talk to a woman in my day. I can't possibly, because I'm so horrifically busy. My boss is so demanding. I've got these deadlines, or I've got to lose weight. I've got to lose weight, so I haven't got time to talk to anybody in my day. I mean, what are you doing? Are you on the treadmill for 24 hours? I mean, what are you talking about? The point is that all you really need to do is step out of the gym or step out of your office and go to the local cafe to buy a sandwich or whatever you're going to have, and just speak to somebody. You know, so, hey, listen, I thought you looked nice. I think your style's really cool. I just had to come and say hi. And see what they say. Now, they might say, yeah, I'm busy, or, oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend, or whatever. And that's fine. At least you tried. Or they might be flattered and they might say, oh, well, I like what you're wearing as well. And then you get into a conversation, and then if it goes well and you're feeling some reciprocation there, maybe you exchange phone numbers and you take it from there. you could do that in a couple of minutes, right? 5 minutes at the most. This doesn't need to be this huge onerous task. We're not saying that you have to go in and just have some hour-long conversation with somebody. I mean, that, in fact, that would be an absolute overkill, right? These things should be quite short. These things should be quite short and sweet until you come to the point of actually dating. And obviously, you go on a date, that's going to take longer. But even then, 90 minutes. You know, I mean, you shouldn't be there for hours. So it's always a little bit of a cope, I think, when guys say this kind of stuff, because really what you're required to do isn't that onerous, but you do have to do it. You know, it's more about consistency than it is about the length of time that you spend. And as I said, I mean, the length of time can sometimes be counterproductive. You don't want to be spending hours and hours doing this kind of thing, right? So you could have an extremely demanding job, right? You could have an extremely demanding work schedule. You could also be working out. You could also be committed to some sort of spiritual practice like meditation or whatever. And you could still talk to 2 or 3 new people a day, right? It's not outside the bounds of possibility. And we're not even talking about, you know, godlike time management skills, really. I mean, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in the coffee shop. I'm in the dry cleaners. I'm in the laundrette, I'm in the lounge bar, there's somebody who looks cool, I'll go and talk to them. And by the way, this doesn't have to be limited to just girls that you find attractive, because really, when we're practicing social skills, this is just about being able to talk to people, okay? This is just about being able to hold a conversation, to be able to talk to people in public that you don't know and not feel embarrassed by that, not feel crushed by that, okay? And depending where you are in the journey, it might be that you do find that incredibly debilitating, okay? And that's cool, that's fine, but you've got to practice. The only way out of that is by practicing the thing, okay? So it's, you know, just go and talk to a few people a day. Doesn't need to add loads of time on. Now, unfortunately, there is this temptation to wait. There is this temptation to leave it and, oh, well, I'll leave it for 6 months and then I'll do it, okay? And then 6 months goes by and they say, oh, well, now something else has come up, so I'll leave it another 6 months. That's fine, but the problem is that you're being left behind, okay? The problem is that other men are doing that work, okay? And there's another guy out there who is doing the things that you know really in your heart you should be doing, and he's going to end up eating your lunch, okay? Because this dating marketplace is not getting any easier. It's not going to get any easier. You know, you might be online now reading all these guys complaining and saying, oh, it's so hard, oh, the deck's stacked against me, oh, women are this, blah, blah, blah. Well, fine, if you think that, but this is also the easiest it's ever going to be, because it's only going to get harder from here on in, okay? So if you think, right, 2026, I'm going to sit this one out as far as dating is concerned, because I want to earn more money, so I'm going to try and get a raise, so I'm going to really focus on work. And then after that, I'm going to sort out dating in 2027. If you're sitting there thinking that, you are actively damaging yourself and your prospects, okay? Because it's getting harder. And God knows where we're going to be in 2027, but I'll tell you one thing, I can say this 1,000%, it's not going to be easier than 2026. It's going to be harder, okay? Because technology is moving on an exponential rate, okay? New apps are coming out, new platforms are coming out, social mores, social norms are changing the whole time. AI, of course, is becoming an increasingly big part of the picture. You know, if you're thinking, oh, I'll just leave it, it'll be fine, I'll sort it out in 2027 or 2028, you're kidding yourself, all right? You're kidding yourself. The best time to have taken action was yesterday, okay? The second best time is today. So you can decide at any time, I'm going to change things up. You can make that call for yourself. Just because you haven't, just because 2026 was 2025 was a bit of a washout, that's fine, it's okay, it's done. But you can make the decision now to say, right, I'm going to do it from now on. I'm going to start working on this stuff. From now on, I'm going to put my all into this, because I understand that I don't have any other choice. I understand that this is essential for me to continue and to have the kind of life that I want to have. So from today, I'm going to start learning how to apply social skills. I'm going to start learning how to apply charisma, okay? And, you know, we've come through January now, and we're into the second month of the year. Great. And what if you didn't do anything during January, okay? You know, we get past New Year's Eve, and New Year's Eve, everyone's like, yeah, new me, you know, new year, new me, and all that. Well, what if you fumbled it in January? What if you didn't do anything in January? Well, that's okay. You can forgive yourself. That's fine. Don't worry about that. It's not about, you can't change what's done, okay? But you can change, or you can decide rather from here on in, this is what I'm going to do. So if this dating stuff is a concern for you, then the decision that you have to make is I'm going to get it handled, all right? And it doesn't matter that I didn't really do a lot in January. That's okay. But I'm not going to let February pass by as well. Because look how quickly January went. You know, we're only just taking the Christmas decorations down, and suddenly we're in February. I mean, what's going on there? How did that happen? Okay, and you know, before long it's going to be spring, and then it's going to be summer, and we're going to be suffering heat waves again, and then we're going to be rolling on to Christmas again, and you're going to be sitting there going, oh, I didn't sort anything out. Oh well. And in the meantime, what's going to have happened in the background? You know, people talk about OnlyFans. What if a new OnlyFans platform springs up and that becomes a major lever in the social landscape? All right. What if a new dating app suddenly comes out and it's really skewing the way the market operates? Right. AI, as I said, is already hugely changing the picture. Well, what if some kind of AI related innovation comes out in dating that makes it even more difficult, you know, because there's all these fake profiles popping up or whatever? Very, very likely that one or more of those things is going to happen, or something else, some black swan event out of left field that we don't know, we can't predict, okay? And you're behind the curve, all right? You're behind the curve because you didn't do anything. So you need to start doing it now. All right. I mean, you know, I think this is the thing. I mean, James Tusk always talks about this. We all think that we've got an eternity, right? We all think that we're always gonna be here. We're never gonna die, and we can do anything we want and just leave it, and you know, down the line we'll sort it out. It's not true. It's not true, because all of us have a very finite amount of time here, and none of us know, you know, when that time is going to elapse. But it could be very soon. So you need to understand the urgency of this situation, because as I said before, I mean, the more that you sit this out, the longer that you sit this out, and the longer that you leave the problem and sort of think, well, I'll get to this next year, or I'll get to this later in the year, I'll get to this in Q4, you know, you are actively sabotaging yourself. That's the reality of this, okay? And as I said, it's only getting harder from here on in. And, you know, we know this because we're on the ground, right? We're coaching students. We are working all over the world doing this stuff, and we can see it ourselves, all right? The landscape is changing very rapidly. It's a very volatile, unpredictable situation. And, you know, you need to get on top of this stuff, right? And by the way, also remember this. I mean, the work that you do today, you're not necessarily going to get the reward for that today, but you will get it down the line, okay? Because it compounds. So if you're going out now and you're talking to 2 or 3 new people a day, and even if that's not going very well, it doesn't matter, because you're compounding a skill set, and then down the line, that skill set is going to bear fruit, okay? So you might think, if you're in Europe, right, like now in London, you know, quite cold, it's not particularly, you know, it's not a great time to be out and about. I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. You might think, well, yeah, you know, I'll leave this till summer, I'll leave this till spring and summer, because that's going to be so much better, you know? And that is short-sighted, because wouldn't it be better to hit spring and summer having worked on this stuff for a period of time? Wouldn't that be better, you know, to hit the ground running when the conditions are more favourable? I would suggest probably yes. So you really need to think about this. It's not going to get easier, it's only going to get harder, and yeah, you need to get a handle on this stuff. So if you need help with that, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com. Do subscribe to the channels, write a comment below, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.